All right, y'all, we're back with another DM7 video. We're going to be talking today about like setting up some reverbs and delays and other effects like that. And so let's dive in here. I'll jump out of here. Now, how we have it set up is we've already set up on our ends here, we've already set up our returns here. So we've got verb one, a plate, a slap, a delay, a drum verb, and an IM reverb. So let's go through and make those. So what we got to do is we need to make mix buses for those. So I'm going to start at the last here. I already got verb one here, so let's make the rest of them. Let's see here. Let's title it. I'm going to get rid of this aux sub because that was on a different video. We're going to call this slap, delay, because they're stereo channels. We're going to call this plate, drum, verb, and then IM verb. Perfect. And then I like to do all of my effects this color. Perfect. Now we need to put effects engines on these. So on all these, let's back up here. We need to stereo link these. So we're going to stereo link the slap, the delay, now the plate. We've got to put reverbs on these. So what we do is we go up here to this rack, and I'm going to start with FX 1 through 8. And on this first one, this side right here is inputs. This side is outputs. So what I want to do is I want to input our bus on this side, and I want to output our channel return here. And since I already have everything labeled, it's going to be pretty easy. So we'll just start down the line. This is our slap. So I want a sequential patch because it's stereo. Okay. I'm going to go slap. Yes. And I'm going to come over here to my output, and I'm going to go sequential patch 2. And now we're on channel, and I can go, I know I put them all the way down here at the end, so I can find my slap channel. There we go. Boom. So if you notice, yeah, right here, it's channel, and on the input side, it's mix. Okay, that's key. And it automatically sets it up for you, so it's pretty easy. Now, what we want to do is we want to put a slap delay on here. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go to delay. Let's do a echo. And then I can click on the echo. And what I want to do is I want this to be tempo 1. And we'll explain that here in a minute. But we have that set to tempo 1. And on my notes, I like a nice 8th note delay. And then yes. Now as far as delays go, I always filter my delays out, and I like to do it on the plugin, and I'll do it with some additional EQ on the channel as well. But you definitely want to filter your delays down. Last thing you want is a lot of high end in your delay, because then you're like cycling your consonants, so you're hearing a bunch of S's and it's distracting. What I want to create with my effects is a sense of depth and space, but I don't want distraction. I don't want it to be super obvious. There's certain ones that I do want obvious, but in this case, we're going to start here. These are just general settings. When I start to do my virtual sound check and everything else like that, I'm going to dive into these settings and curate it for what's going on. But this is just to get me up and running and kind of be quick with it. Now, as far as the feedback goes, I start with my feedback on this particular slap. I start with my feedback all the way down. And then what's nice with slap, and I should just make another video on this, but what's nice with slap is I can just turn the feedback up as to give me length. So depending on the length of a song, I can have it kind of connecting each word and stuff. But with my slap, I'm really just trying to give me texture and like a sense of space. And especially in a live environment, I love slap over like a room reverb, because it gives me the sense of a room. But we're already in a room, so if I just add a room reverb to it, it's just like we're already in a room. So I like slap because it gives me a little more texture over just more verb that's already in the room. So we'll start there. BPM, we're going to set up this stuff later, but we've got that set up. I'm going to go over to FX2 by doing this. FX2, let's make this our, what do we got here? Delays. Cool. Here, channel, and we want to find my delay channel, and we want a sequential patch of 2. Delays, yes. Boom, good to go. Now we got to put a delay in here. I want this to be a ping pong delay. That means it's going to do a delay here, and then a delay here, and then a delay here, and then a delay here. And I like that. I like my ping pong to be a half note. Again, I want to filter it out because I don't need all that information. Don't want all that information. Cool. We're going to sync. And then maybe turn my feedback up a little bit. Perfect. So now we're going to go to our next one. Let's make this our plate. I'm going to do sequential patch 2. Okay. Plate. Go to my return. Down here. 2. Plate. Good. All right. So now we're going to go up to our reverb here. I'm going to do an HD plate. Same thing on this. I do like to filter out the frequencies I don't need. I don't want the slow mid build up. I don't want my S's, so I'm going to pull all that out of here. This plate type, I don't know. We got to see how it sounds. So this doesn't matter right now. My reverb time. Now on a plate, I'm somebody who likes to blend my different effects. So it's not just about one vocal reverb. No, I'm curating a sound. So I like to use multiple reverbs. So I need them to be doing different things. So my plate is going to be for kind of like overall vibe and like a sense of space. So I don't want a long tail on it. So I'm going to bring this down. Yeah, sure. Here. Now this initial delay. So as far as this is like, you'll see it called pre-delay. As far as that goes, I've talked about this in one of my other videos, is when you want a sound to disappear back in a mix, I want no pre-delay. And if I want my vocal to come forward in a mix and kind of do this, like come towards me, I want a lot of pre-delay. So I'm going to do maybe 50 milliseconds. And this way, what that's doing is delaying the effect of the reverb to happen after the initial sound source. And so that gives it some separation, and then you're hearing the reverb after they've already said the word, essentially. That's a good starting place there. So let's go to our next one. We're going to go FX5. Let's make it our verb 1. And this is why going through and titling everything, it just makes it so much easier because I'm just cruising. I just know where everything is. I know what it's called. I'm not going to mess up a patch because it's already labeled. I almost messed up a patch as I'm talking about it. Verb 1. Here we go. Boom. Cool. And then this is, now this one I want to be like a hall. So I'm going to pull up an HD hall. I'm going to come here and same thing. Let's see what we got here. What are we working with? Yeah, high pass is already kind of doing it. Low pass, we're going to kind of bring it down. Now this one I like to be long. This is what I'm using for length, to like really lengthen out and give me like like the swimming effect. Now room size is also going to make it bigger, so I can crank my room size a little bit. Here, I just want a lot of length. And then that's good. We're going to go to FX7, and we're going to call this one is our drum reverb. So 2. Drum reverb, yep. This one is 2. Drum reverb. Good. I like a nice gated reverb here. Let's try that. That's cool. We're going to dampen some of this. I do want some of the high end coming through. Room size, we're going to make this bigger. Sure. Yeah, cool. Great. Done. Now we need, what are we missing? Missing our IEM reverb. Okay. We're going to go 2 here. IEM verb. Okay. Coming back in. IEM verb 2. And we come all the way down here. Good. Here, let's just give them a nice haul. I'm going to make it super big. Singers love lots of vibe in their ears, so this just helps. Let's keep the mud out of there. Some top end is fine. Remember, again, when we're filtering, it doesn't mean nothing exists up there. It just means it's starting to get massaged away. It's just giving the top end shape and giving the bottom end shape. I'd like to think of it as a sculpture. I'm sculpting my frequencies. It's not a hard cut. It's just a nice massaging away. And okay, so we're good to go. We're routed there. Now, how do I get sound into these? So remember, our buses are where the effect engine lives. Our returns are where the sound lives, okay? So what I got to do is I got to get sound into my my engine here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select my mix bus. I'm going to go sends on fader. I need to turn these to inputs, okay. And then I can go up here to my inputs. We're on our slap delay, so I need my vocals. So for us, my lead vocals are mic 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to put those at unity into my slap delay. I don't want my background vocals in my slap. That's just something I'm doing for my leads. I want my leads to really feel like they're coming out of the space. These, I just want them to blend. So I'm not trying to add any more zhuzh to my background vocals in this scenario. Same with this long delay. This is a ping pong delay. I only use this for effect. So like when we're in a place where there's a lot of space, they're not really singing, maybe they're, you know, ad-libbing or whatever. I like to use my ping pong there for like super floaty experiences. Cool. And then I'm going to go to my plate. I'm going to put my lead vocals at unity. And I'm going to put my background vocals. I do want them going in there. So I'm going to put them, but I'm going to do them a lot less. Here, good. My verb 1, same thing. -10. And then unity on these guys. Now we need my drum verb. And really all I'm going into that, I'm going to do a CLA thing. I'm going to do more bottom than top. I'm going to do a little bit of toms. And no cymbals. Remember, I don't like a lot of that high end in my reverbs. It's already cut out anyway, so I'm not putting my overheads in there. Good. Now our IEM verb. I don't want our main mics in there. I want our IEM mics because those are, it's just for monitoring. So in this case, I'll turn all these up here. Good. 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 All right, so now I have all of our mics and the things that I want in our effects routed into our effects, but I'm still not going to be hearing sound. I'm not going to be hearing these reverbs and delays yet. I still have to get those to come out of my PA. So I'm going to get out of sends on fader. Now, I know it can be confusing, especially coming from the studio world. It's weird when you have a bus that has an effect on it, and you're just like, okay, why can't I just turn the bus up? And my bus is up. I just, here, they're all turned up, but they are not going out my main PA. You can see here, none of these are highlighted, right? And we don't want it coming out my main PA. Now, the reason for that is because I can't send a bus to another bus. So if somebody wants reverb in their ears or anything like that, they have to route a channel to their bus. So to do that, that's why we do these effect returns. So now I can go to my returns, and if I want to hear them out of the house, I turn these up. Boom. And we got to stereo link these as well. So here. Good. Boom. And then I'll turn these up, and now I've got verb in the house. And what I'll do is I blend. I'm going to do a nice blend between my plate and my verb, and my slap is going to be good. And then this is, I'm going to make a button that I can turn this on and off, but this will be here. This will be, you know, I blend this in however I want, and this we want to be up, but I don't want my IEM verb going to the house. So I'm going to take this out of the house. I'm going to click it here. Boom. No longer going to my PA. So now it's just for their ears. And now it's great because on these I can curate my sound a little bit more. You know, I can filter a little bit more here and just really like make, oh, maybe I got some buildup happening here. And it's great to have some additional EQ that I can really sculpt this into like how I want my plate to sound and where I want it. Make sure it's not interfering with my vocal and such. So it's really great to have that here. We want to make sure that I have some DCAs for these. So when I'm mixing, I don't want to be jumping and finding my return channel, so I put them on DCA, so I'll have one fader. Once I get my blend right on my verbs, I have one fader, more verb, less verb. So to make sure that I did that, okay, I'm going to go verb 1, and down here in this right here, these are my DCA assigns, and I've already got it selected on verbs right there. Good. Let's make sure this plate is there too. Yep. My slap is going to my delays. This is going to my delays. Perfect. Drum verb is not going to be on anything, and I am verb is not going to be on anything. So now when I go and I look at my custom layout here, I've got my delays and my verbs right next to my vocals. So it's just really easy to keep it's basically a dry wet fader right there for me. So it's really great. Now we got to talk about how do we set up tap tempo. I said we're going to come back to that. So we have delays set up, but I want them to be in time with the music we're playing. So in order to do that, I set up a button that I can tap along with the music, and then it'll change all my delays to follow exactly what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go up here to our menu. I'm going to go to setup, user defined keys. I'm going to take this button down here, and I'm going to go down to tap tempo. And I set these delays to tempo 1. So I'm going to select tempo 1. Boom. And now, every time I hit this button and tap along, it's going to set the delay of tempo 1. So I need to verify on my rack here. I know we did it on this echo. See, it says tempo 1. Good. So now I need to make sure that my ping pong delay is on tempo 1. Boom. And then we've got it to sync. I think my other one is to sync as well. No, sync. Boom. And we're synced to tempo 1. So whatever tempo 1 is going to be these delays. Now I have it on my tap tempo, and we're good to go. So that's how you get these effects set up and routed on your board. If you have any questions, as always, let me know, and I try to get back to everybody, and we'll see you next time.